Yeah, yeah.
JP.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you a story. I'm on the Nimbus. I'm in the Stratus. Come check my status. What the flex is going on? I'm on the Nimbus. I'm in the Stratus. Come check my status. What the flex is going on? I'm on the Nimbus. I'm in the Stratus. Come check my status. What the flex is going on? I am fluxing on them now. I'm fluxing on them proud. I'm fluxing on them now. I'm fluxing on them proud. I'm in the Nimbus. Come check my status. What's my status? What the f is going on? I'm in the Nimbus. Come check my status. What's my status? I'm flexing on them now. 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 I'm flexing on them proud. What the flex is this? We going to the moon. Can I tell you something? Layer 1, layer 2, this is humongous. Decentralized, so we keep it 100. 10,000 nodes, yeah, we building an army. Flex on them now like it don't mean that. We an army and we strong. I'm on the Nimbus. I'm in the Stratus. Come check my status. Come check my status. What the flex is going on? What the flex is going on? But the flex, we all so strong. We an army and we strong. And we strong.
We are live. Davey, how the hell are you, man?
Morning, Dan. How's it going?
Pretty good. So I see some trees in the background.
I'm in my
there.
office.
So
I'm in my office.
That's not your office, bro. I actually kind of know that. I actually kind of know that place. You're in my stomping grounds.
Am I? I think I'm in the office.
No, you're not. You're in Baltimore, Maryland. Right? Am I right?
I am.
Did you take up?
I'm in DC. I'm in Washington.
Well, it's all. Did you take up my recommendation for Old Ebbitt Grill?
I'm gonna go there for lunch.
Okay, you better. Yeah, and you might need reservations, so call them early. Well, good morning, everybody that tuned in today. Thank you for coming on board. Davey's actually outside, so if he breaks up a little bit, he'll just mute himself and sit in the background and marvel at all the amazing things that we have to talk about today. I am freaking excited, dude. Like, this is the best day ever. This is the best day ever. Like, I'm making my notes up for this, and I'm like, we have done so much shit in 2 months since like the last time we met that it's like unreal. Like, it blows my mind. I wrote a nice little note to the team on X the other night, and I truly believe that. Like, the Flux team is our ride and die, man. Like, these guys, we work together, we play together, we build together. I mean, it really is unique. It's not like anything that's out there today, which is amazing. So without further ado, what I'd like to do is do a little housekeeping. Everybody that's on here today, we've got a bunch of people flowing in. Please like and share this. Also, hit X, live stream it, talk about it. We need to draw the attention to what we're doing today. So if you see something that's leak worthy, like I love a leak, and I'll give some leaks today too, make sure you take a second and you leak a little bit of stuff out there. You know what I mean? So that way people get excited about the project. So been an amazing couple months. We've worked really hard. We've delivered a lot of products. And the one that we're going to start with is probably the pinnacle of what we've worked 7 fucking years. 7 years to build. Can you even imagine that? Like, we to build this in a decentralized manner so that it runs on Flux OS and everywhere else is all tied together. The marketplaces are built. Flux Core is built. FluxEdge is built in alpha. It has been a labor of love. And a huge thank you to Alex and his team. Alex, Lucas, Nolan, Davey has been a big part of it. Me, not so much. I'm just kind of like the guy. I just kind of sit back and I tell them what I think would be cool, and they actually build it into it. So that team has done an amazing freaking job. And without further ado, I'd like to bring Alex on, who this is the mastermind behind it. This is the guy that's mixing the soup, right? Or whatever you want to call it. What's the analogy? So let's go ahead and bring Alex up. I'm going to see if I can do it. And there he is.
Hey, how you doing?
Alex, how the hell are you, brother? Tired?
Nah, a little. It's all right.
But you're still young, 29 years old. You can go on like 2 hours of sleep tops. That's all you need. That's all you need.
Power naps.
Alex, what I'd like for you to turn this over to you and let you talk a little bit about FluxEdge, and also showcase to the folks who haven't downloaded the alpha yet or haven't been able to play with it. I'd like to show kind of what we're looking at and talk to us about what we are seeing today and then what we'll see into the future with Edge. Because when I say this is alpha, the list of shit coming is even bigger than what has already been done. You know what I mean? Which is an amazing concept, because we've already got, and I'll tell you, I've heard at least 25 times, at least, could be closer to 50, people saying, how is this even an alpha? It is so fucking polished. It looks amazing. How did this even get the title alpha? And I'll just say, because we wanted to get the input from the community and the folks that are helping. And if you've checked out Discord and see the chat, we're getting suggestions left and right. And this is what's going to make this an amazing finished product, because it's built by us, the community, which is amazing. So Alex, without further ado, man, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Yeah, so just a little recap for people that are new here. Flux Core is what we built for the provider side, and FluxEdge is what we built for the client side. It's been built in the builds for about 2 years now. I joined the team 2 years ago. We started off with only Davey and myself. Then Lucas joined the team, and now we're about 7 or 12 people on the team working on this project. And on this,
you're starting to cost me a lot of money there, Alex. So you're at 12, I believe. So we're gonna slow that down a bit.
But very happy at where we're at today. Wish I could always give more, but that's why we called it alpha, because we need more input, and the input comes from various configurations, setups, network, everything that needs further digging, but we don't have the resources basically to do that, because we can't cover every type of configuration that's worldwide basically. That's why it's getting the appellation alpha right now.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, I think as this thing continues to get building out, I think you were already seeing this hyperbolic curve start to ramp up. We've got people like Puma that are coming in to really help us into the Kubernetes space. We've got, what's happening with Flux AI. So that integration piece coming. So yeah, it's going to be community driven too. So I think you do a disservice to yourself, Alex. You released a release candidate with an alpha label. And that I'm super fucking proud of, because I mean, how many times, all the technologists on the space right now, they're going to understand what I'm talking about, right? How many times have we got a release candidate that's dog shit, that doesn't work, it's broken, it's just not? That isn't the case with Flux Core, nor is it the case with FluxEdge. So that's a big props to you, man. You are a fucking perfectionist.
I can't take the credit for myself. Honestly, I have to thank the team, especially Lucas. Honestly, the team has been constituted of people that worked on the project initially. So it was Davey and Lucas, then of myself, and then the community. I think all the team members right now are constituted of the community itself. There's the King, Alan the King. You've probably seen him in Discord helping out. Now he's helping out Lucas as well, managing the project, the deployments, and everything else. We have Puma that recently joined as well. It's mainly the team that is driving the project along. And we're really proud of what we currently got going, right? A little stress.
Then it's a bit as well. What started as more of a skunkworks type of thing what it grew to, and it's basically its own department at this point within Flux. Like these guys are nonstop. So, Alex, you might not realize, but there were people already using FluxEdge yesterday here at the conference. Just FYI, I gave it to some students already. So, sorry about that.
Cool. No, that's all good. The more input
Hey.
you have, the better.
Dan Keller deployed some shit on it. If I can deploy it, like anyone can deploy it. Like it is so freaking simple, Alex. Like we agreed like very early on when you and me and Davey sat down and we started mapping this shit out, we talked about that 3-click rule. Like we should never be more than like 3 clicks to get to a deployment. And it's like almost 3 clicks on the dot. I mean, depending on what you're doing, you know what I mean? Like it really is super easy to use. And that's the key to adoption, is making this for enterprise, the edge side I'm speaking about, making this for the enterprise folks and making it not feel like it's impossible to do. So mom and pops everywhere can build out on these things. So you really did a good job with that. And I'm not tooting your horn.
My team probably will hate me a bit for saying this, but I already see room for improvement where I want to rework a few things, because as we build, we see that some stuff are not like meant to be this way or could be better in another way, and we already have like tons of improvement to make for Q3, Q4, only on the UX side of things. When it comes to functionality, Q3 is like fully packed. I think like we crammed most of it in Q3 almost. So you're gonna see a lot of things moving.
Davey, you want to roll the intro video, and then Alex can go right into a demo. I think would be really cool. Yep. We've got to move quick, guys. I got like 19 things on this fucking list. Huge shout out to Dim and his ballin' ass videos. Like I don't even know how we make videos for everything now. You know, and part of it's we want people to experience it. It's an experience. Like this should all be an experience. You guys are all owners of the project. You know what I mean? So you should feel the excitement that we feel. And you can't all the time because a lot of shit happens behind the scenes as we're building stuff out. But you can definitely feel it when you get it in that final phase and that video hits you in the gut and you're like, whoa, this is badass. So yeah, anyway, go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, so just for a little recap, there was a question about who's running FluxCore. I can't say that anyone's running anything really. We're like a team running it. So it's both our team running both FluxCore and FluxEdge on that side. And for the FluxEdge, the demo will be today. We wanted to showcase something special, but I'll tease something instead of showing it. If you remember 2 years ago, I did a proof of concept with Davey.
Are you going to leak things, Alex?
No,
we
I'm
talked
not
about
leaky Alex. What the hell's going on, bro?
Yeah, I'm hinting to a leak for one.
Then it's starting to rub off on the guys that we are doing things. It's not good.
But Davey did post a video about it 2 years ago. That's all I'm gonna say. On Twitter.
The headless gaming?
I don't know. Let's go to the presentation right now.
You don't leak very good, Alex. You got to get some work on this shit. All right.
Just for the record, neither me or Dan knew about this stuff, that he was going to pull something up. But we should know better at this point, Dan, when we bring people on that they're going to leak shit. What is he doing? Also, Dan is touching buttons, which is not a good thing.
No, I just minimized myself so he could present.
It does it automatically, but you don't have to worry about that stuff.
Oh, okay, cool.
He just needs to, present something so that I can bring it on the screen.
Got it.
Am I presenting now?
No, you're not showing anything yet.
You got to go to present, and then you got to hit that.
Is that big button that says present with a little plus?
Wait, there you come. There you come. There you come. There you come.
You get to share.
How many engineers does it take to?
At Flux, a lot apparently.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna.
Oh.
Whoa, buddy.
Sorry about
Inception. Oh,
that.
my eyes.
Yeah. Do you? Oh, your eyes.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Dark mode. WTF?
Yes. It keeps me awake when I work with this on. That's why I have it.
Oh
always on
no!
light.
Do the white background just for the guys in the channel. You know how to.
Yeah,
they love it. They love that shit.
So yeah, FluxEdge been released since Wednesday, I believe. 4 days ago. And I believe that you can all access it right now as an alpha. You can simply, I'll just log out, so I go through the whole motion here. As soon as you come in, you can just basically sign in to get access to it. I'll probably just use my Gmail account, but
well, hold on. Let's go back to that screen. I want to talk about SSO real quick because that was a big. So we've, Davey, you mentioned talking about that. We've released SSO on basically all of our products now. I think the only one that doesn't have SSO is Zelcore and SSP, but everything else on the the Edge core side of the house is all SSO. That's huge, dude. That's another level of adoption that we don't talk about every day. But if you can make it easy for folks to do this stuff and enterprises to deploy on this, and it looks and feels like, I always use the analogy of my wife going to the ATM. She doesn't give a shit how the money got there. She just cares about being able to put her PIN in and take her money. That's exactly what this is. Makes it super simplistic. So, sorry.
Awesome. I'm gonna just do this real quick. I think I'm just sharing the window. Right?
Inception
Sorry.
again.
My bad. Just
wow, Alex, you're really good at sharing your screen, I have to say.
Yeah. There you go. I'm connected. That was one click. Okay. All good. I don't want to check.
The click counter resets now, so now you can go on.
Yep. So if I do want to deploy a project here, we basically have the top app of today is, for now, it's the app that has been the most deployed for today. We're still doing some testings on the prod just to see how it works within the dev. But anyhow, here is also going to be some promotions, some app of the week, anyone that wants to promote their deployments and so on. That's a little hint for something coming up Q3 as well. We also have the top apps of this week with the number of lists and likes of those apps and basically new listed applications. We also have the top machines of this week. Top machines is based on the type of benchmark. So if you want to rent a machine for a specific use case, you can do that as well. Let's go ahead and try to deploy something real quick. If we go into the overview, you can see an overview of the machines that you're renting and the projects that you are currently running. Right now, we don't have anything yet. So we can just start, click, choose your use case, and basically you'll be shown a filter. And let's go ahead and deploy Olama. Right now, we're keeping it really simple, only 6 at launch, but we're coming up real soon with a couple more.
How much did we have in the development environment? Like we had like
48?
A shit ton.
48 or something. But yeah. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say it, but at some point you'll be able to deploy your own apps, and you can even monetize those apps and earn rewards based on those apps.
Alex the Leak Master. I never thought I'd see the day.
I mean, I spent 2 years with you guys, so at some point, I guess I'll just have to cave in. All right, so if maybe some of you have heard of Olama. Olama is basically something that allows you to load models up. If we spin that on a machine, we just select this app. It's going to show, for now, all the machines. We're going to refine this further and have recommended machines for you to deploy based on the number of params, etc., that you're going to be using. If we want to filter by OS, I'm just going to go for Linux right now. It's the most stable one. It's still in alpha, so we still have some issues here and there, but overall, it should be working pretty good. I'm going to just go ahead and clear the continents and just use Europe. I don't know how many continents you guys count, but we do 7.
We still need to create a couple clusters, right? Like there's still a cluster.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Right now, we're just testing out in Europe, North America, and Asia, but all the southern hemisphere gets moved to the upper cluster, basically. So you're not left out. We're working on that as well. We just didn't want to open too many spots. We also limited the number of spots to, I think, currently 600 machines, and we're around at 300, I think, online, which is not too bad. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get this one, maybe just enough GPUs so I can run multiple containers with multiple GPUs. You just click on deploy. I already have a little balance in here. I'll just go over it in a bit. I actually go over it now while it's loading. So type of payments. You have an overview of your account. You can deposit more funds using either PayPal, a voucher, your credit card. Please don't look at that too much. I still have my info there. I mean, it's just
Yeah, we're just getting your last couple of numbers, dude. It's good.
exactly.
Can you provide your social security as well?
Yeah, and just a copy of your license if you don't mind. Just throw that my way, please. I'll send it back when I'm done. Okay.
All right, that works. I'll send it to you in private, or the winner of the raffle later on.
Okay, there you go.
So yeah, so you can even claim vouchers if you have a campaign or like advertisement that you want to do. We can give off coupons and so on. We have a couple of other tabs here. We have team. That's going to be towards a later step. I think I already went over that in the previous AMA. We have the audit piece, which is, I think, pretty useful. It's not only for the edge piece, but it's also for the Flux core piece. So when you're doing mining or you're doing rental, you basically have all the audits, every action that has been done with your account or your team account registered. So everything that you're earning or everything that you're paying, you're basically have it here, and you can download it as CSV and export it and do whatever you want with it. Maybe some text stuff. All the deployments, all the projects, the balance, and so on. Then you have your contact details, the settings, and so on. It's regular stuff here. I just want to bring attention to, if you pay with Flux or you add Flux, for now you're having a 10% bonus Flux. So everything's being settled in Flux currently.
Yeah, and that can vary too. We can, depending on how if we want to get more people on board, we can take it down to 15%. But I real quick, I want to jump in here too, because the voucher system is what we're using. We announced, I guess it was 2 weeks ago, we were donating it's 2 million is what we announced. I think it's up to 2.5 million now. And compute resources to education institutions, universities. Alex is actually from, is a graduate of the University of Applied Science in Geneva, Switzerland. Did I get it right, Alex?
Yes. You got the hang of it now.
We teach an old dog new tricks. But he's so he has a lot of. We all have affinity for education and getting people to use this. We're also going to release this to just about every single group of developers out there who are building on AI platforms. So we've part of our marketing strategy is to look directly at who those people are and how they need compute resources, and we're going to go directly to them. So 2.5 million sounds like a lot of money, but it'll go quickly because this is it'll go a lot less quickly on Flux because we're way cheaper than the other providers. On AWS, that'll get you about 2 weeks worth of AI compute. On Flux, it's going to be a lot. So I'm kidding. It's not 2.5 million. It might be. Hell, I don't know. Somebody told me the other day they're super expensive. So yeah, real excited for that as well. Go ahead. Sorry about that. I'm just going to jump in as I get bullet
points. Money as we talk here. So yeah, when we go back here, you have your machine with the applications running here. Another thing that you can actually do is start a new project on the same machine that you're already renting, as long as it has the resources that you need. That's why I selected a 3 GPU machine, so I can have 1 GPU for every different application. We can even deploy and share the different pods, the different resources with multiple applications. That'll come at a later stage. It's coming actually pretty soon, but we'll just talk about it later. If you want to deploy this with another GPU, you can just click on deploy, and it's deploying on the same machine. If you go back to the machines, here you have the TensorFlow being provisioning to, and there you go. When you have these projects deployed, you'll end up on this page. You can have the logs of the containers on both the back end and the front end here in this case. And you also have access to the shell. So the shell of the container can be used for different and various things. We'll see in a bit. But let's go on and just like open up the link to the actual application right now. So Ollama basically allows you to load models and function as a kind of ChatGPT, basically.
So
it is like a ChatGPT.
Yeah, it is like a ChatGPT. It's a training model, and you know, actually, I think Flux AI has this integrated as well. Along, I'm pretty sure. Look at Alex getting this shit wrong.
Yeah, I think I did not create an account with this one.
Pass 1, 2, 3, 4. Got it.
It's Davey Whittock.
Password 1, 2, 3, 4.
So yeah, as soon as you loaded that up, you end up with this UI, which is pretty similar.
Alex, why is this important actually? Why did we add Ollama directly on the FluxEdge side? Why is that important?
I don't know. You tell me.
I'll tell you.
Okay.
Basically, you're running this in your own container. You're all cut off from the rest of the world with this. So if you run this and you're asking this particular chat box or this chat prompt questions, you're the only one in control of this.
Exactly.
You don't have that same luxury when you're using ChatGPT. Just FYI, folks, careful with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it eats your data too, and so you got to remember that. So you have to. The AI conversation's yet to be hashed, but I think as you're going to see with Flux AI, it's completely open source. I think open source is the way this thing will end up going. We'll see.
Exactly. And I won't do a demo of how this actually works, but I'll just showcase a few elements. Right now, when you try to select a model, we did it this way, so we don't load too much. So the deployment is really fast, and then you can select the model that you want to actually deploy. You can do it in multiple ways. You can actually go to Ollama, their website, and then click on the model you want. You can copy paste this one in. It's basically the command that you use to run the model. You can go back to the shell, and that's what the shell is for. You can basically run it here, and it's gonna pull basically the model into your existing instance.
Wait. Did you just copy paste that? There was the option to do this the entire time.
Yeah.
Don't.
I always was going click, settings, admin. It was a nightmare.
Well, alpha baby, alpha.
No, that's not on us. That's Ollama. That's how they work. But I'm just surprised to see I could have just copy pasted. That's funny. All right, good to know.
Or you can just download from the Open Web UI directly the JSON, and then you can just go here if I remember. Oh, you can actually run multiple models at the same time, by the way. But let me just find that again. Settings. I keep forgetting where that is. Who's Fluxman?
Well, you're sharing your screen, so everybody's following along and jumping on there. They can try and log in, but you're the only one with the admin account. So.
Oh man, I love this community.
I keep forgetting how to.
Is it downloaded yet?
Yeah, it is downloaded already. Oh, this one? No, it's still downloading. But I was gonna import the JSON one, but I forgot how to actually bring it on.
Top right, your A.
Yeah.
Settings. Oh, admin panel. Yep. And then settings. Models.
But then in model, I'm not sure.
And then pull a model from Ollama.com. The second one.
No, that's not what I wanted to do.
That's how I did it. I always put the name in there. But like you see, this is a little.
Yeah, I'm not doing a showcase of Ollama here. I'm just going around. Import model. That should be somewhere. All right. Oh, this one's done. Okay. So, this one needs a little. It's a little tricky. If you run it in the shell, you actually have to reload it, and then you can actually see Llama latest, and then you just select a prompt or type in your own, and then off you go. And here
This
you have
is
your
running
own
on somebody's computer now.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, this is on Edge. Mhm.
Let's see who's it running on. It's a 3060, so an 8 gig card to run.
Stockholm.
Yeah, Stockholm, Sweden, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there more than one Stockholm?
the syndrome or
That could be.
That's what you're suffering from, Alex.
Yes,
Working
he's
with
got
us.
Stockholm syndrome right now.
yeah, and
right.
yeah, that's basically it. I'll just skip for that.
No, this is pretty cool. So, in a nutshell, you deploy something in a couple clicks, like we always wanted to see happen. There was no hand holding needed. You just literally picked the thing you wanted to run. You picked your machine that you liked, and off you went. That's simple.
Yep. And then
But
if you want
that
other deployments, TensorFlow, it's here, it's running. It gets loaded in about less than a minute. We're trying to keep it really small, and we're actually already implementing the next piece to it, which is going to load every single image that we're pulling into a cache, and then a cache.
we'll talk about a cache later.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, Cash. Look at you, man. You're getting pretty good at this shit.
He's
So yeah,
leaking left and right at this point. Like,
if you go onto Jupyter, this is the one thing that we're still we haven't really worked on the actual container themselves yet, because that's not what we really do. We're not like creating containers, we're using existing containers and deploying them. But the token is basically in the logs of the pod, so you can just copy and paste the token itself, which is not like super intuitive right now, I have to admit. But we'll work on it.
It's alpha, baby.
Yeah. We just took existing stuff and we launched it on here. So that's how they implemented it, and that's how it's working. So you can create your file. You've probably seen this a couple of times on Flux Core a while back at Mining Disrupt, I think, for some of you. And then you can just run your notebook. Choose your kernel. Let's see if we have a GPU available, NVIDIA SMI. Run it. And we do have one, because I only specified to have one on this container. And you have your NVIDIA 3060 Ti. And off you go. And you can basically train, run any type of model or instance on here as well. It can be on 3060. It can be on 4 H100 if we're talking about that. It can be on anything that's available on the network.
Yeah, let's go back to the marketplace real quick, Alex, too. So I want to bring up a point that you just kind of touched base on, and that is, a lot of people ask why. We got a couple people in the chat right now asking why this is different than something like a salad, other than it's way cooler name than salad. I don't know who the hell thought that up, but whatever. This is decentralized. It's running across the globe. It pulls all the components in. It's a full tie-in with Flux Core, so our mining and our compute are in the same place. We also tie that into Flux OS. So this is a symbiotic developed ecosystem. So you're not like leaving the ecosystem for anything. If you want to do front ends, back ends, game servers, you're using Flux OS. If you want to do AI rendering, edge compute, you can use, you can use Flux OS, and then you can use FluxEdge for those parts as well. And if you just want to mine some shit coins, you can use Flux Core, and you can participate in proof of use work as well. So what we've done is essentially take everything that is needed for a delivery framework. Why is Amazon so successful? Amazon's so successful because when Jeff Bezos was sitting in a basement in Seattle, he was building a plan to sell books online. And people are like, who the hell is going to buy books online? You got Barnes & Noble, you got all these other major players, And what happened was he wasn't building it for that particular piece. Books happened to be the piece that he was working on, but he was building the framework around that. So it didn't matter what you dropped into it, it just went, and that's exactly what we're doing, is we're building that framework for every piece of compute that goes to one place. And why it's special is it's not just for Flux. We made a little announcement, and Alex kind of alluded to it here, is we're going to add the Akash H100 marketplace. You could definitely see a Dynex in here. You could definitely see a Core AI. You could definitely see all these pieces coming back to one primary marketplace. It doesn't take away from their venue. It just helps to add and expand all of the venues. And, you could eventually see an Akash add, Flux's backend APIs for, compute rental.
Then should I leak a little?
Well, hold on. I want to give one more comparison because there's a lot of crypto folks on here. If you've ever been in crypto, you understand what, how the books that are made and how you can use, basically liquidity pools and matchmaking across the board. So the same folks that are doing the liquidity pools and or, providing that matching on the back end of Binance are the same people that are doing it on, Coinbase or Kraken or all these other places, right? That's why when we see the crypto market, Big Daddy BTC decides he's going to take a shit. Everything takes a shit, right? And every exchange, it basically helps to equalize things, across the board. Otherwise, you'd have these massive arbitrages between all these different platforms. And that's exactly what Flux is doing. It's bringing all those compute resources from all those different locations, and it's bringing them together in one place. I think you could eventually see a market for this, futures market, all kinds of shit. As we continue to build out, compute power is the new fucking gold. That's what it comes down to.
I always called Flux digital compute battery.
Yeah, that's what we are. We power it. We're not the bright and shiny and sexy. We're the get down in the mud and make everything happen. And that's what made Amazon successful. Is they build a framework, they build a delivery model, and then they drop anything in top of it. And that's exactly what we're going to do with Flux. I could see, all these products that are building out, because people are like, what's your competition? Is it a Core AI? Is it an Akash? Is it a, Dynex? Is it whatever? No, none of them are fucking competition. Those are all opportunities for us to work together. And when I approached Greg Azori with the idea of adding, Akash to Flux Marketplace, he loved it, as I loved it. You know what I mean? It's like, it's a win-win. He's got compute resources that we need to source to our customers and vice versa. And I think you'll definitely see these things start to build out big time. So that is a piece that, will continue to keep expanding well into the future.
Exactly. And just for reference, on Flux Core, I'm not sure if the push has been done yet, but basically the auto switching between mining and Edge should be already live actually. So if you have a machine that's running on Flux Core, yeah, I can't keep up the updates on all of these. They're working really fast. The team is like blazing fast.
Yeah, they are fast.
If you've been around for a while, you can see every week or two you'd get like a patch note of I don't know how many items when it comes to bug fixes. Everything is still in beta for Flux Core and alpha for FluxEdge. But yeah, they're building super fast. I can't be more happy with this team, to be honest.
Yep. No, I am. And this, one of the things that we really focused on at the very beginning of this is this needs to be enterprise friendly. And, I would say a lot of the stuff that's running out there now that calls themselves like, decentralized compute or DPIN or whatever you want to call it, they're anything but friendly. And they're anything but decentralized. So, we've been very methodical for every piece that we build onto this. We're making sure that we're taking steps. And if it isn't decentralized today, it will be decentralized. So, that's the goal. Is this alpha is just the starting gun of a massive sprint. And I know that, the 70 some people that we have working on the project, they're there for a reason. They understand the value add that this brings. And yeah, this could absolutely, somebody mentioned in the chat, they said about it being a commodity, you could definitely have futures contracts. Abso-fucking-lutely. And how could you not? I mean, you can do futures contracts with everything that's a commodity, whether it's corn, whether it's, power, compute resources are a commodity, and we'll start to peg that together. So you could definitely see that trading eventually. And as a matter of fact, we had a really good discussion with somebody who was in the power scenario and doing futures contracts with those actually helped to launch that. And he's like, yeah, Flux is 100%. Yeah, okay, yeah, well, I won't say too much, but long story short is it is a possibility there for sure.
Yep. And I just want to reassure people that are worried about their rigs, because here I'm actually displaying some of the use case that we have. So we have AI, but we also have blockchain, and they see miner. Probably people don't want miner running on their computer, depending on who. But you can actually specify which use case you allow to share your resources with So if you only allowed to share it for AI, rendering, and gaming, you can totally enable those three and disable the two others, for example. So you're totally safe with what you're doing as a provider as well.
Well, it
With a
makes
small with a small caveat right there, right, Alex? Because I see a lot of people just clicking everything and anything in Flux Core just to get going. Keep an eye on what you're doing, right? So if you don't want people running a miner on your machines, make sure you don't select that. If you do, they are able to run these things on your machine. So you have the opportunity to decide yourself what you want to do.
I don't care. I don't care if they beat the shit out of my network. I'm set up for it and ready for it. So bring it on. If it's paying me, I'm down. Let's go. So,
but Dan alluded to something there, right? This is enterprise built. Yeah. I'm literally at a medical conference right now. I've done AI summit a week ago with Emmanuel. Did a tech week in London as well. We're ready to go in front of the big boys. And that's a big difference when
not
you
ready.
Look at us.
Not ready to. That's happening. Why do you think we're shuffling Davey all over the fucking globe? This is a okay. So I'm going to expand, Davey. I'm just going to cut you off right there because I'm old and I'll forget this. But one of the things when we were looking at like forecasting long term for Edge is I started to do some research into data centers. And if you really want to fall down a rabbit hole that really wants to solidify why Flux is so valuable, start looking at how the demand for data centers far outpaces what they can build. They're averaging between, let's say, 10 and 15 data centers a year. We would need in the hundreds to get to where we're at. Data centers, I'm going to say it right here. I don't even give a shit. Data centers are fucking dead. They will be dead. Like, this is the next version of how this is supposed to run. Now, I'm not saying every data center would be dead, but they will be antiquated. Absolutely, they will be antiquated. They will not be a viable solution. Power is the biggest thing. They can't source power for it unless fusion releases in the next 3 years, or we go on a massive nuclear bend. Power is hard to source, and that's what they're running into. The other thing is these small communities where they were building these data center footprints, they don't want them anymore. They're power hogs or whatever. It comes down to sourcing that infrastructure from the people that already have that infrastructure. So Dan's got 250 cards running, okay? Those 250 cards, I'm concerned about keeping the upkeep and running it, making sure the power is correct, making sure my uptime is correct, making sure my benchmark is correct. We are separating the wheat from the shaft in terms of how compute resources are delivered. We've been basically pigeonholed into accepting what the data centers have given us up to this point. That changes today. And that's an amazing thing. I mean, to be alive and see this happening right in front of us, I mean, it's fucking amazing.
And like, just for reference, FluxEdge and Flux Core has been built with in mind moving from Web 2 to Web 3, but not really moving in the sense of moving, more like a seamless transition, like you experience the cloud. I don't think any one of you can mention exactly the day when you thought to yourself, oh, I'm actually using the cloud now. But you didn't really realize that.
Well, the cloud wasn't the cloud. It was somebody else's, data center. Now It really is a cloud. It truly is a cloud. You look at it, it's decentralized and global.
I don't want to mark the definition of going from Web 2 to Web 3. It's really like this. I don't know how to say it, but
it's fluid at this point.
Yeah.
We're literally bridging the gap, like for real. Like we're really bridging the gap. That's why I'm at these conferences. That's why I'm confident to go here and even showcase what we've built out so far. We're ready.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of questions, and we'll touch on them in a bit as well. But keeping an eye on the time here as well. We're at 9:45 already.
Yeah, we got to move.
You have a list of things to go through still, Dan. So
I don't want to bore this. Okay, so all right, Alex, thanks for the demo, my friend, and you stay because I'm sure we can use.
He had something to leak. He said. I'm kind of curious now what he was going to leak.
I forgot about it. I have I honestly forgot what it was about.
The proof of concept thing. No, I'm curious. I'm really curious. Like,
It's headless gaming.
Oh.
I know that's what it is.
Yeah, you can check it out on Davy's Twitter.
Yeah, headless gaming, which is huge.
Posted it
And
around Christmas 2 years.
was it Rocket League or what was it? I can't remember what you were doing.
Yeah.
Rocket League, which is a pretty intense game when you get down to it. You know, it's cartoonish and all that horseshit, but it is data intensive, and it ran flawlessly, like blow my effing mind flawlessly. It was crazy. So all good stuff. So, okay, on to the next thing. So we were going to do a Flux AI demo today. We still are going to do a little showcase for you, just kind of show you some of the things we're working on. But one of the things we found is when we deployed FluxEdge, there was a component that we needed to get dialed in. Hi, Caroline. And so what we're going to do is we're going to work on that, and it's going to push off the AI release. We wanted it to go live on the 1st. It's probably going to go live on the 15th. We just have to dial a few things in. But I would like to show you a little video of what it looks like. And Davey, you can answer any questions that pop up on the radar.
Come da poca picchita va bene, se tu la parla miezza americano, quando si fa l'amore sotto la luna, come da bene in capo di I love you, papà l'americano.
Okay. All right, so that was badass, and it's going to save me a shit ton of time. And I did try this out, and it does work ballin'. You can even specify particular layouts, all kinds of horse shit, which is really cool. But you know, the big question is why is Flux AI different than every other AI product out there? Because that's what I would ask. Because I mean, you see carbon copies of that user interface. It's all about the same. It all looks like ChatGPT. David, do you have that slide you can put up real quick?
Yeah, I'll get it in a second here for you. 1 second.
So the thing that you have to remember is we are in like the biggest battle for the technology space of all time. You know, you thought it was big for, you know, Bitcoin and fintech and DeFi. That is dwarfs in comparison to what is going to happen with the push for AI. Who controls it? Because the input models are what makes the difference. The input models drive the export models. And if the input models are controlled, as we saw with Google in their release, it will deviate from the actual truth. It will show you what they want you to see. So that's why the government is so quick to want to act on AI, is they want to control those input models. Flux's goal is to keep it the fuck out of their hands, is what it comes down to. It's an open source model that uses basically all training models in the back end, and it's going to have a completely published algo so that people will know exactly what they're being fed across the board. So Flux AI changes the game. What does it also do? It'll also have Project Mayhem embedded in it. So not only are we the AI model using training models from all over, the truth model, and here you can see what it is. So Divi Fetch is what you just saw, which is basically our AI model. We'll have Flux Medical, and that'll include like Davey's already working with the medical folks on how this is going to integrate with imaging and all kinds of shit like that. You'll have a Flux AI chatbot, and you'll have Flux Translate, real-time translation. And then that's really geared toward our consumer. That's our first push to our consumers. And in the middle, you have Flux AI sitting there. That's our developers. And then you have FluxEdge, which is the corporation that drives it all. And FluxEdge is driven by who? All of us. So that's what it comes down to. It changes the concept, because what ChatGPT is doing is it is originating things, but that doesn't mean it can't be perfected or honed to be more geared toward, social development and social integration and that model, rather than an input model from Microsoft and Bill Gates and the Bill Gates Foundation, or, NVIDIA, who's, driving their own product as well. It changes, and it doesn't mean that we're going to dethrone ChatGPT. What it does mean is we're going to hold them a little bit accountable for what they're putting through their system, because you can use Flux, which is an open source, available to everybody, algorithm open scenario, versus a ChatGPT closed box, nobody can see shit. And people are going to understand that that's a big deal. That is a big deal, and that's what we're driving. Again, that framework has given something to us that we can deliver a new model on. And this is why Edge, Core, Flux OS is so important to the greater humanity. In my opinion, this is the biggest damn thing out there right now in terms of.
There's something on this slide, by the way, Dan, that might not catch the eye, but that's critical for a lot of folks out there that use ChatGPT today. And it's in the middle, right? It's that API piece. That's the key.
Direct API. I missed that. Yeah, that's good.
That API is key for a lot of folks out there. If you go to trade shows, conferences, and I've done a few now, and you ask a lot of people out there, hey, what's your AI integration? What model are you using? And then the answer you get is, ChatGPT. Basically they use an API to build it all out. Mm-hmm. So they're also paying for that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And at the same time, under the premise that their data is secure, somewhat, hopefully, maybe.
Yeah, and the other thing that I mentioned very quickly, and people have heard me talk about it before in the past about Mayhem, is right now, 99.9% of all development is built around building these AI models for input and creating these new components around AI and what it can do. But how do we, in 2 years from now, where's the truth model that's going to tell us whether or not this video of Biden and Trump is legit, or if it's AI generated? Because the shit is getting so good that it's very difficult to differentiate the two. So, my goal is, and our team's goal is, to not only provide you with that input model, but that as well, and that output model, but also a truth model along the way. And that's really going to be a big deal. So, this is in itself is really going to change the way AI continues to grow. And if it's adopted across the board, which I believe it will be, this will be driving the industry. I really do believe that. So,
all right.
Okay, so we talked about, and if you got questions about Flux AI, throw them in there. We'll try to speed round some shit here quick. So now we've talked about all these new, bright and shiny, amazing amazeballs, things that we've been building on. Let's talk about showcasing this, because you've heard, prime time, and we've talked about some of the target audiences we wanted to go after. The biggest one in the room is I recently have started to, I joined and started to go to some of these global blockchain alliance conventions in DC. And Davey, if you want to roll that video real quick while I find the breakout on that. So we're taking it straight to the House. And when I mean that, we're taking it straight to the United States government and all the people that attend there. So this event was sponsored by Flux. We will have a massive setup there showcasing FluxEdge, Flux Core, Flux AI. We will be talking to, this is just a small list, Center for Medicine and Medicare Service, cybersecurity agencies, Department of Agriculture, Department of Defense, Department of Labor, Department of the Interior, Department of Navy, Federal Communication Commission, Ginnie Mae, Global Accountability Office, House of Representatives, Congress, the National Credit Union Administration. I didn't even know that was a thing. National Naval Air Command. My bros in Lieberland, which is cool. State and local governments, you name it, you name it, you name it. The UN will be there as well. So they'll have representatives from the UN there because they're trying to really learn what, things are happening. Deloitte, Consensus, Binance, major exchanges, Coinbase, and all the other folks as well. And we will be front and center. When I say front and center, when you walk in that event, you will have to walk through the Flux booth, and you will have to see, we're going to have these massive big screen TVs, and we're going to have all the team there, and we're going to show them how to deploy, what it means, give them breakdowns. We'll have videos explaining it, and we're going to answer. I'm going to do a 45-minute keynote on why DPIN is the future of the internet, why Web3 and DPIN, and essentially to me the same fucking thing, is the future of the internet. It's not, but it is. So this is exactly where you start to get education and adoption. As you get it early, you get it in front of the people that will make the legislation and or the regulations around this, and you're very vibrant with it. And that's exactly what we're going to do. And we were asked. That's the part that blows my mind. I went down to talk at one of these events, and we'll post the link to the event. If anybody's in DC, you can buy a ticket and come down, and you can be part of it as well. If you're on the Flux team and you want to help out, reach out to Betty or Caroline, and we'll throw you in the queue. You got to dress nice, suits and ties, so it may not be for everybody because this is a different kind of venue. I can't cuss. I can't wear my fuck your meme coin shirt, right? I actually got to put on it. I clean up pretty good. So we're super excited about that. All right, so that's that. Davey's been rolling through conventions. I mean, Davey, can you rattle them off at the top of your head real quick?
I'll go backwards. So today I'm at Sim and was it National Harbor in the
National Harbor, yeah,
right next to DC. Last week I was at the AI Summit in London, where all the big players were. There will be news coming out of that at one point as well. I was in Berlin for SUSE, one of our partners, and some of the software that we use to build out the way we build things out to be able to do enterprise stuff. If you don't have that type of software, you're not able to claim you can do enterprise, period. Just saying. And then, so that was a 3 or 4 days. Yeah, 4 days. Nonstop networking, meeting customers, providers, other people that do software, see if there's connections we can make. So that was that one. We did the London Tech Week. In between London and Berlin, I was in Brussels doing more meetings with folks in the Web2 space to see if there's interest to move into the Web3 space. Before London, I have to think where I was in. I don't even know at this point where I've been at the
all runs the fuck
Consensus in Austin. Yeah, that was fun. Felt a little out of place at times. Not sure what that why that was, but we felt
it's
a little out of
feeling.
place. But it was a good feeling.
Yeah, no, it's the same way you and I said to each other when we were at CES. We kind of looked around and we're like, "Do you feel like we're like way above this?" And I laughed and I'm like, "That's exactly what I was thinking. Like we are right on the cusp of being there." I would say if you go back to CES this year, which we will, you're gonna, or next year, you're definitely gonna see some changes. It's gonna look different than what it did this time, because the one thing we saw was, AI, but no way to supply that shit. So it like literally, it's balling for us because we're in the right place at the right time and we knew it.
Yep, and then I did a couple other conferences as well. I'll be in Brussels next week again for ECC. Then the week after, there's Bitcoin in Nashville this time, which we will have our Cypherpunk VIP party. Yeah, I think right before, the day before.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was going to bring that
July
up.
24th? July 24th.
All right, roll the clip since you already dropped it. So
Oh, well, that was cool. Short.
All right. It's going to be a Cypherpunk event at Bitcoin 2024. This is not Cypherpunk Major. That comes in February, right? So this is, we're basically doing a VIP meet and greet event at the Bitcoin Conference 2024. If you want to attend, we'll have a link. I think the tickets are super cheap. They're like $40 or something like that. So just come out and hang with the guys. If you can't afford the $40, hit me up. I'll take care of you. I want to see people come, and I don't want expenses to be part of the reason why they can't attend. So if anybody's out there, they need help, just let me know. I got you covered. So that'll be about 250 people-ish. And, you know, and we're going to do a private VIP dinner for some potential customers and clients and people we're working with as well. That's about 50 people that we're doing as well. So I think you're going to see a bunch of these micro Cypherpunk events pop up. We're going to do one in Europe here coming up. We're going to do the main event, which is Cypherpunk, you know, the blowout party that we had last year, which everybody is loving. We wanted to make sure we had enough time to get in front of our customers and start building out our business plan. And we felt like with Cypherpunk happening this year, it was just not going to cut it for us. We had too much on our plate. So that's why we moved it to February. But then we felt too that it would be nice to have like some drinks, some laughing, meeting. I mean, that's where business gets done, right? Right, guys? We did more business at Cypherpunk than we probably did the whole year before that because we met so many new people, friends. And people that
to this day even provides us with connections and opportunities right to this day. Like we were at Austin and the Consensus, and people ran up to us, "Hey, Cypherpunk, that was cool, man. That was cool." And there's a couple other things that we're working on for Cypherpunk as well. There's a big one coming then next year. We want to do something in Europe as well. But if you, by the way, if I'm in the neighborhood and you want to hang out, just hit me up in a DM. I'm more than willing to hang out and do almost a personal AMA at that point, I guess. But I'll
if you want to hang out with me too, and it's before like 7:30 at night, yeah, I'll hang out with you. But I'm good till about 9, and then Although, Davey, when I was in Austin, Texas at Consensus, I was up to like 1:30 in the morning. Can you believe it? I almost died. I felt like I was hungover the next day. I said, you know, you're getting old when you don't really drink, and then you wake up the next day hungover. It's like, what the hell?
When Dan goes like, "Hey, what time do we meet tomorrow?" and he goes like, "Let's do afternoonish." I'm like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, he's tired. All right, real quick, I'm just going to buzz through these things. FluxOS release came out. Check it out. It's all in our announcement channel. You can also check our Twitter as well. The Flux Core release was out, so we've got that rolled out. The Flux Cloud update 2.0. So we rolled out the 2.0 version to Flux Cloud, which is fantastic. Like, fantastic. If you haven't checked it out, please take the time to check it out. Our WordPress update rolled out about 2 weeks ago. So we updated the new version of WordPress. So all those websites that were on there didn't break. And it seems like everything's going good there. SSP update. SSP is becoming a freaking juggernaut. And leak alert. EV chains are coming, man. Like, I think that Trunk is really grinding to get as many assets in there as humanly possible. So I think you'll see that. If you haven't used SSP yet, I don't know what the hell you're waiting for. Zelcore is awesome. And people they'll ask me, they'll be like, what's the difference between Zelcore and SSP? Zelcore is a great hot wallet. You know what I mean? You wanna have very easy access. It's got all the bells and whistles for that. It now has a seed phrase if you want to use that. It's a great wallet, right? I'd use it as a hot, warm wallet. SSP is locked down, fucking hard, two-factor, real legit two-factor, and that's where you want to do long-term. And it also runs your nodes as well. So the folks that are out there that have a lot of Flux that's locked up long-term, SSP is where you want to be. And we also had the big update for Zelcore is we've started talking about transparent pricing. So you're going to see more listings coming to Zelcore. We are going to charge a mild, little teeny bit of a price to get added. And that just covers our asses for development work. So, and then what we're working on doing is setting Zelcore up so that projects can deploy it on Zelcore themselves. They can PR it. We'll add it to the pull request, and bang, you're done. And we're also going to do some other transparent pricing pieces, for marketing and PR in there as well. But the big piece, and one that I'm super proud of because we've been working on, is we're looking to make Zelcore open source. So all of our products that we host, other than maybe Fusion, and that'll eventually be there as well, it's going to be open source, which is a big deal. So I think we're to the point of maturity where we can start looking at Zelcore and start open sourcing that, because we've kind of gapped it so that somebody can't come in, fork the repo, create something that looks like Zelcore, and then defraud people of money, which we know they will fucking do. So I think we have enough experience with SSP and its open source platform that we feel comfortable now that we want to get this open source. So good stuff there. Okay, so what I'll do is we are literally at 10:06. So let's do a real quick, let's say 10 minutes of questions, speed round. If you have a question, throw it up now. We have a couple that were already queued up, Davey, so we'll buzz through those real quick. Max said, how badly do you need more supply? Is demand out driving supply? Not so much today. Give me 3 weeks and then that'll change. And because the demand is coming very quickly for it. So we're going to definitely, I would say, if you're planning on deploying on FluxEdge and Flux Core and being part of Proof of Use of Work, start setting your shit up now and get it running. You can still mine your shit coins directly. I would say Flux Core is the best operating system out there for mining right now, hands down. So, and I've used Hive, I've used Simple, I've used all these other platforms. Core is intuitive, it's easy to use, it's customizable, it runs on Windows, it runs on Linux, it is the shit. When will FluxEdge be on Hive OS? We're working with that. I have no idea. Right now we're worried about our project and pushing this thing to the max. I honestly think you could see us being a major competitor to Hive OS at some point in the future. So I don't know what that looks like. So we're just gonna have to play it by ear and see what happens.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversation happening, right? So how do we line things up? The different technologies that we use, that they use. So we have to. There's a lot of back and forth happening in that space. So that's not a quick, let's put it in type of thing. Everything we build out, we don't do it for one-offs. We try to do it so that we can use it for other pieces as well and other types of the business as well. So there's more to it than just connecting the two together and Bob's your uncle. There's a lot more to it.
Okay, Max had another good one. Do you need certain GPUs more than other? No, we need volume. So if you've got those 1070 Ti's, which I cleaned mine up and started working on getting them deployed, I'd do it, man. And you don't have to mine. If there's nothing out there that's profitable, you put it in standby mode for proof of use to work, and you just have it sitting in the corner of your room. It does nothing but just sits there and idles. So, I would say get your ass moving. We're at over 8,000 GPUs right now. I went on the low side, which is about $4.8 million worth of GPUs. It's gonna quadruple very quickly.
Don't forget your rendering use case, where it's a lot less demanding when it comes to the compute side of things, but it's as demanded by the business. All your 4K, 8K movies, they need a shit ton of. Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, that's a good point, Alex. I forgot about that. Yeah, very good point. So there are less intensive shit that those smaller cards can be used for. And I deployed some stuff on some 2080 Ti's yesterday, and it was lightning fast. So, I mean, the good thing about what FluxEdge has done is it learned how to shard a lot of these jobs as well. So volume means a lot in this space versus, I have an H100 and I'm just going to, source that out. It's volume. You can have an H100 or you can have 1040, 4070 Ti's or whatever the soup du jour is. When will Windows GPUs be supported?
Yeah, we ran into a hiccup, it seems, during the go live with the GPUs not being clustered. I think that's being worked on, so stay tuned for that.
Ghosty said 8401 GPU is currently the new. Okay. Well, whatever.
All right.
Private AI, very important. Localized, not going to the cloud. Amen. And that's huge for folks that want to use AI, but don't necessarily want to supply their data back to the board. And that's where Flux comes into play. Good point, Enable.
There's a bit of a caveat to that, right? It is going into the cloud, but it's your private cloud, right? So that's the difference there.
Okay. Currently, proof of use work has one clock set, but in the future, if we can set a clock for specific mining rentals and open settings, factory settings for other forms of proof of use work, it's not a concern. Okay. Yeah, that's basically a good point.
Yeah, he's asking if you want to participate in the mining side of things and you want to present your machine to be rented for mining, and you can set some clocks speeds. I believe that's on the roadmap, but that's coming.
Davey is waiting to leak. He's always waiting to leak. Are you still working on ISO IEC 27 or 27001? So enterprise will be able at max scale? Yes. I can answer that.
Not just ISO, SOC 2, Cybersecurity Plus, all of those.
Yeah, that's a big push for us here over the next year. Is now that we've got these products rolling, we want those certifications as well. And for us to get into the government sectors and everywhere else, we're going to need that.
Plus, we're working with partners who actually do have these type of certification already, so we are able to run things already in a certain way. So.
The guy with the coolest name in the chat, Brian Hollywood, can we get a Hive OS update? Any snapshot update? Thank you for your advice. Q3 for the snapshot, so we're close. If you paying attention, you saw the Taproot was added to Zelcore. Can you put 2 and 2 together there? So it's coming very soon. So I know everybody's itchy to deploy more info, so just hang on. We're almost there. Will it be possible to have data processing encrypted? Yes, it will be. We're not there yet, but we will. We have some cool stuff that we're working on behind the scenes. It's going to be for FluxOS, and Edge would roll into that as well. So it's not possible for hosts to see the data that's been generated, not the data that's been generated. On Edge.
We can't leak a couple. I would love to leak a couple things, but we will have encryption A to Z, including GPU.
And it might be a partner we're working with, or Davey mentioned earlier, that's going to help us with that. So just check that out. Can you talk to the company I work for and give me more vacation days? I'll work on it, Max. Just shoot that number over to me. I'll just say you're sick and you're needed. To take care.
I met a lot of doctors, Max. I can have you somebody write your prescription or whatever.
We got AI, dude. We'll just write you like everything you need. A hell of a good note for it. So, is it better to have 4 RTX 3060s on one machine with enough PCIe lanes, or split them into 2 machines? One works. Yeah, I don't think you need to split those into 2. As a matter of fact,
Alex, what do you think?
It depends on the use case.
Of course, he was going to say that.
It depends on the use case, but there's something coming out about that soon, and it will give a much better vision on what you'll be making.
He's right.
Yeah.
He's right.
Okay, a couple more questions, and then I think we got to roll. Just my opinion, Flux is a little behind in marketing. For bigger stage marketing needed. What will you do for this? I couldn't disagree with you more, dude. I'm sorry. We are very relevant across the crypto space. We've already started leaking into the standard tech space. Our products literally just had the wrappers taken off of them. So Flux Drive, FluxOS, Flux Core, and FluxEdge. We've hired multiple marketing and PR companies for branding. We've already started to solidify some of those pieces. We've been picked up by multiple news outlets. We just did our press release, had 27 million fucking views within the first 4 hours the other day of release. It was picked up by Streets, was picked up by like everybody. We're using a really rock solid marketing company who's been working with us, and we're super proud of them. We're working on SEO optimization. We're working on new website development. So ultimately people make these comments, and I'm not saying this is what you're saying, Sports Corner, but they want to see asset price appreciation. And that's what they link marketing to. Couldn't be farther from the fucking point. We know that price appreciation is drove historically off of FOMO or something major happening with the product. That isn't brand awareness. We just wrapped up our first season with the UFL. We ran multiple TV ads on Fox, ESPN, multiple. We were already starting to get a lot of brand awareness. We have another partnership that we're getting ready to release here coming up soon, which will be another big brand awareness piece. So, if you had to sit me down and say, where have you made the most success or most acceleration, obviously I would give it to Edge and Core and FluxOS and those pieces. But the close second is our marketing and PR team. We have a fucking killer and most crypto projects would die to have what we have. So don't agree with that. And I think you need to look at it out of the box and look more at brand awareness and development rather than price appreciation.
Think bigger than just the crypto space. That's all I'll say. Think bigger than that.
Dan today looking like frontman James Hetfield.
I had to put that in there.
Sounds good to me, man. Like, he's a badass. I got to get the little bit more handlebar mustache on. Get rid of this right here and just have it coming down. Sad but true. Yeah, okay.
Just to go back to the marketing piece, in the last 6 weeks, I think we really put the name Flux out there.
Yeah. Oh, dude, we're everywhere. We're up at we're on everybody's fucking list.
To the point that people come towards me versus I go to them at this point. Just FYI. And we're talking large companies. Also,
CMAR said, so many products, do you guys ever sleep? Dude, that is the amazing part of blockchain and having a community that's vested in building in the product. 24/7, 365, you will never find a time that there isn't somebody working on building on Flux. And then it starts to get outside of the team and the community, and you got other people building on Flux. As a matter of fact, our new partner that we're going to be working with, they're deploying a whole shit ton of stuff on Flux. So it starts to get to the point where it's almost like that adoption curve. It was like this, it started to go like this, and then it starts doing that thing and it's gone. So, sleep is overrated.
Sleep is overrated. Medical care is overrated.
Any plans on integrating Fusion into SSP, pain in the ass, sending to Zelcore convert native? Dude, I'm going to do you one better. And the guys are going to want to punch me in the mouth when I do this. Let me think about this for a minute.
No, don't do it.
No, I'm doing it. Okay, so we are working now. We are working right now on a web-based version of Fusion that will use MetaMask. We'll use all the major pieces to tie in, and it would tie in with SSP as well. So it will be essentially our own exchange. You can call it that. It's not really an exchange because it's just flipping the assets, but it will all be web-based, and you'll be able to use Wallet Connect, MetaMask, and all the other pieces, Zelcore, SSP, all the major players in the space to connect directly to Fusion. So that's the leak for the day. And that could be cool. And you could see other assets being added in there as well. Somebody mentioned earlier about why can't I sell my Flux inside of Zelcore. You're going to be able to do that very soon. So just hang tight.
Oh.
Coinbase listing coming. Don't fucking care. I like Coinbase. If they added us, that's great. Would rather have Kraken. But we've got some good crypto.com has really been stepping up. We've got a lot more volume coming in there. If you guys haven't tried out Uphold, we're going to officially announce a partnership like within the next week or two with Uphold as a primary. They're going to be able to do all PAs and main chain. So, and they're US based, UK based. They've got great liquidity and they're really an upstart that's amazing. So tell them Dan sent you. Go sign up for Uphold and try it out. Remember, I don't support any exchange to keep your assets there, but it's a necessary evil to move back and forth. So do your research. Do not leave your coins on exchange. Put them in Zelcore, SSP, whatever you got to do. But if you want a really nice US exchange, and their app is fantastic. I've switched everything from Coinbase because I was a Coinbase guy. I don't even use that anymore. I use Uphold for everything. So just a little point out there. I'll throw it out. But yeah, they can definitely. Coinbase is going to eventually add us. Sleep is overrated, says Dan, in bed by 10. Oh, yeah. Well, I guess, well, it's overrated for you guys. I didn't say it was for me. It's the old adage, you guys do as I say, not as I do. Hey, when you guys turn 50, okay, and I'm not 50 yet, by the way, I'm 49 and 3/4. But when you turn 50, then you guys can all go to bed by, 9 o'clock, and I won't be up your ass all the time. And anyone that's on this call knows just because I'm in bed by 10 doesn't mean that I'm not working till 1 or 2 in the morning and I come in at random times and just people are like, what the hell are you doing up? I'm always there.
That's true.
All right.
That's true.
All right, guys. I want to thank everybody for coming out today. It was a lot of information to digest. If we missed your question, I apologize. Come into Discord, ask us. Alex will be around. I'll be around. Davey will be around today. We can definitely help you out with questions. Any of the materials that you saw today, we're more than happy to provide you with them if you want to check them out. We are where we are today because of you guys, and I mean that. I made that comment yesterday, and I said, the Flux team is like a battleship. We work together, we play together, we build together, and we go to war together. And that's what it comes down to now is the community is right there behind us as well. And that gives us the ability to really push to new levels and build things at different levels. So thank you guys for everything you do for us. And we want to make sure that we showcase the best possible technology for you guys for your faith in us. So thanks again. Have a great rest of the weekend. Davey, play us out.
Oh, why do they lie? Yeah. There's only one way to go, and that's Web 3.0. Don't be evil, Flux freeing all the people, fluxing on them now like a cheat code. Flux gon' keep you from a breach though. And we Web 3.0. Don't be evil, Flux freeing all the people, fluxing on them now like a cheat code. Flux gon' keep you from a breach though. And we Web 3.0. I know we fighting these corporate tyrants. They try to silence, but we can see they tried to censor our speech. They want no privacy. At night I can't sleep, cause my data, they gonna breach. Don't be evil, Flux freeing all the people, fluxing on them now like a cheat code. Flux gon' keep you from a breach though. And we Web 3.0. Don't be evil, Flux freeing all my people, fluxing on them now like a cheat code. Flux gon' keep you from a breach though. And we Web 3.0. And we Web 3.0. And we Web 3.0. We gon'